COVID. You talk about something crazy. It's even got Santa back home, quarantining with his family. Nuts. Growing up in Spring Hill, having white hair at 3 years old, you get picked on a lot. Well, you know, back here in my home, Spring Hill, doing my normal routine, hanging out at the Walmart. I love this place. I ain't got these in the North Pole. They keep putting out milk and cookies. Papa wants a couple moon pies and a sun drop. They say the North changes you, but I'm a Spring Hill boy through and through. But man, it's good to be back at Spring Hill.
You know, during this time, we've really tried to reach out to people because we know that there's been a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people struggling through this time. And especially we've tried to reach out to a world that is secular and really not thinking about God. And sometimes when you want to do that, you just have to do some things that are a little unconventional.
Look out, Santa's coming through.
Hey guys. Hey guys. How you doing? Sometimes I wear this costume and people say, why are you wearing that costume? And my answer is, it gets the conversation started. The only problem is when I get home still wearing this, Tammy goes, why are you still wearing that costume, Tony? She just can't convince me to take this thing off.
Doing well, how are you?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How did that, oh, it's supposed to go that way. Buddy the Elf is really a metaphor for the kid in all of us. I went to seminary for this, you know what I'm trying to say? I spent all those years.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth, and long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared and His soul found His word. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. All on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Let's break it down. See, truly He taught us to love one another. His law is love, and His gospel is peace.
Hi, my name is Weston Brand, and I am formerly known here at the Refuge Church as the discipleship pastor, but someone who has nothing to do with the children's ministry at all. But it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you today our newest children's ministry, Camp Lollis. As I'm sure you're all familiar with our Refuge Kids ministry, the incredible experience that children get to enter into here at the Refuge Church, Camp Lollis is something entirely different. As you guys are obviously aware, Kyle and Ashley Lollis have had far too many children, and it's become a significant issue here at the Refuge Church.
Seriously?
So with that issue in mind, let me introduce you to Camp Lollis. An amazing sequestered room that really these numerous Lollis children can be sequestered in this room and have all kinds of fun that they want without bothering anyone. No more running around the church, no more screaming, but there are plenty of things in here that they can use to get into all sorts of creative fun. Like for example, these cables here on the wall. These are perfect for jump roping, you know, or what have you. You've got ladders that can reach all the way to the ceiling, perfect for climbing. Plenty of heavy objects that are stacked really high. They can do something cool with that, I'm sure. But it is an honor to be able to give the numerous Lollis children a place where they can have fun and be sequestered from the rest of the Refuge Church. So if you're one of the many children that calls Kyle and Ashley mom and dad, we have a place for you. If your last name happens to be Lollis and you're under the age of 9, sign up for Camp Lollis today. Please.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ the Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and from God our Heavenly Father, a blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same, and how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and away in the manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay, and the little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, but little Lord Jesus forever and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in thy tender care, and fill us forever to live with thee there.
Here we see Mother Mary, who's just gotten baby Jesus to sleep. And here we have the little drummer boy bringing his gift.
One day, several years ago, there was a man by the name of Al Andrews, a counselor who happens to be from Franklin, was struggling during the Christmas season, so he took a walk. And this is the story of that walk. It was cold that evening. As I walked down my quiet street, I needed a walk to clear my mind of all the clutter and stress of the season. It seems that every year it gets worse. More obligatory parties, irritated drivers, and panicky shoppers. Long lines everywhere. I remember a time when I was more expectant, when the season for all its celebrating meant everything to me. But sadly, this night, my internal monologue was, let's just get this thing over. Get back to normal. Frankly, my cynicism troubled me. And when I'm troubled, I take a walk. Even if it's near midnight, even if it's cold, even if there are still things to do. The hour was late and the light rain was falling. Stray snowflakes twirled and mingled in. From windows and trees, the lights of the season sparkled through the heavy mist like stars aching to beam brightly on the dreary, dark night. Turning up my collar, I pulled my jacket tighter. That kind of cold finds its way through most any opening. As I walked, I saw them out of the corner of my eye. Mary, Joseph, the baby Jesus, displayed in a wooden stable in someone's front yard. The usual characters were assembled there: shepherds, sheep, a camel, and 3 wise men. On the stable's roof was a precariously perched angel. And I looked on, and he was slightly tilted to the left. All of them were illuminated by 2 bright floodlights shining from the grass in front of them. I almost passed by. They were easy to miss, as I'd grown accustomed to their presence. They, after all, available to everyone in all sizes: ornament size, mantle size, coffee table size, and yard size. They came in a box, easy to assemble. But that night, and I'm not sure why, something caused me to turn my head, inviting me to linger. I stopped to look at them for a while, as one who would stand in front of a Rembrandt painting in a museum. I must admit, I felt somewhat odd and awkward. After all, grown-ups don't pause and stare at the nativity scene. But for some reason, that night, that moment, I felt I should. To witness something, to see. I folded my arms and I looked, obedient to this mysterious nudge. She wore blue. Mary always wears blue. A neatly pressed, clean blue garment. Her face, porcelain and untouchable, had a fixed expression, pleasant and peaceful. With her fragile hands folded in prayer, she gazed down, adoring her child. She was perfect, this Mary, pristine, with moisture glistening on her smooth ceramic shawl. Joseph wore brown. Joseph always wears brown. Brown is a fitting color for a character regulated to the background, for someone who never gets top billing. His eyes appeared vacant. His beard was neatly trimmed. He was there, as he always is, on the edge. He can't seem to find his place. Everyone else has something distinctive: wings, crowns, gifts, halos, a shepherd's crook. But all he has is brown. Then there was baby Jesus, his tiny arms extended, the star attraction. A halo encircled his little head, reaching from ear to ear. A clean white fabric wrapped around him. Swaddled, I suppose, is the appropriate Christmas word to use. He smiled, an unearthly smile. He's always happy, this manger Jesus. It looked like he had never slept, never cried. It didn't appear that he wanted to be held, nursed, or cuddled either. I won't take the time to describe the others, but you know them all. You probably even know where they're positioned in the stable. The shepherds go there, the camels are over there, the sheep over there, and the wise men there, there, and there. I imagine you too are accustomed to their presence. I remain standing, trying to stay warm, looking at them through a gauzy mist. I pondered. I simply can't relate to them in any way. They seem remote and untouchable, just like the season had become to me. With considerable guilt, I wondered, why don't I like these people? And after this abrupt, irreverent thought came to me, I half expected the ground underneath me to open and swallow me whole, or a bolt of lightning to descend with a flash and snap, like leaving a little pile of smoldering ashes that used to be me. I closed my eyes and waited for the end, but thankfully, neither the heavens opened nor the ground, so I continued my gaze. And then something happened, something I frankly don't expect you to believe. I heard a noise coming from Mary's direction. It startled me. "Who's that?" I said. And though her figure didn't move, a soft voice pleaded. "This is not me," she said. "This is not real." And her voice broke. "Please listen to me. My garment isn't this clean. And it's not this brilliant shade of blue. It's a faded blue because of the dust of the lonely journey to Bethlehem. It smells of my sweat and of the mule whose back I rode upon. My blue is stained with red, the blood of birth. It's soiled with the dung of the stable floor, and my face, my real face, is blemished. I'm a teenage girl. My brow is furrowed from worry about this baby, about tomorrow. What will Herod do? Will he find us? And my eyes are red from tears of pain, and I'm so lonely and afraid. This is my first baby, and my mother is not here with me. This is not who I am," she said again. "I am real. Please let me be real." And her voice trailed off. Her words, both gentle and moving, reached inside of me so deeply I could barely breathe. And while I was catching my breath, I heard another deeper voice. "You're wrong about me." It was coming from Joseph's direction. "This is not real. This certainly is not real. Please listen to me," he said firmly. I started to take some steps backwards, but his voice riveted me in place. "Listen," he repeated. "Really listen. I am not the quiet, simple character you've made me out to be. My eyes aren't vacant. Hours ago, they were full of fire when I grabbed the innkeeper's tunic, and with a tight grip, I told him, 'You can't tell me there is no room somewhere.' And he found us a place. I'm a man with a purpose to travel where I'm told to go and to lead my family safely there, and we made it. Now that we're here, I'm still on guard, for we're in danger." Joseph continued, "Yes, I wear brown, but not from stealth. I blend in with my surroundings. And from my vantage point, my eyes scan every opening in the place for anyone who's out to harm us. And no one will get to me. Let them try. I'm the keeper of this light, and I will keep him safe. You're wrong about me. This is not who I am. I am real. Please let me be real." His words soaked into me like the evening's mist. I felt astonished and awakened to something that was true. And then I heard a cry. I looked at Jesus in the wooden manger. He was thrashing about in the hay. He had soiled himself and looked uncomfortable. His cloth was twisted in his arms and legs. He grimaced from the prickly snow. His face was red, and his cry grew louder, a cry of a hungry infant. His toothless mouth opened, and he arched his back, and he cried so hard that he ran out of breath for a moment. It was quiet, but I knew this quiet was only for a moment, until he drew another breath. And then he wailed so loudly, I expected the lights of the nearby houses to turn on and the neighbors to come running out. And I wondered if he too would speak. But he didn't speak. He didn't need to. Somehow his words were in me, and I spoke for him. This is not me. This is not real. Please listen to me. You see, the reason I came, the reason I was sent, was to be real, to feel everything you felt, to know everything you need, because I needed it too. To hurt like you've hurt, to laugh like you've laughed, to skin my knee like you've skinned your knee, and to have my heart broken like your heart has been broken. I came so that one day, or one wintry night, when you come face to face with your defeat, your moment of absolute need, you can say to me, you know this too. Lead me through it, and I will. This is not me, I am real. Please let me be real. Then there was a silence, a long stillness that hushed the wind and pushed away the noises of the quiet. In the quiet, I was being given room to feel, to consider what I'd just seen and heard. Now the silence, the truth appeared like stars revealed by parting clouds. Maybe the figures before me weren't real because I'd made them that way, so they would be predictable and safe, easy to ignore and box up after Christmas, out of sight, out of mind. Maybe if Jesus wasn't real, he would be tame and small. Maybe I had rendered him untouchable because I was afraid of his touch. I am sorry, I said again as my eyes brimmed with tears. The sorrow nudged me to kneel next to the shepherd in the wet grass, in front of something so real, so very real, I couldn't even begin to comprehend it. As I knelt, I came a part of the story, and the story became a part of me. And I felt his gentle pardon. Suddenly everything expanded. This scene, this night, my heart, and I felt real. I stood and remained there for a while, quietly looking at them as they gazed back at me. And I realized something. I like these people, and I think they liked me. Shivering, I wondered if Jesus was cold too, so I laid my scarf over his hands and feet, the same hands and feet I would one day see again. I tucked him in as best I could. Good night, I said to him. Sleep well. You've traveled far. I stayed beside him for a few minutes, just as I had stayed beside my own newborn sons as they drifted off to sleep. Then a low, regal voice came from one of the wise men. He whispered as if he was aware that Jesus was sleeping. We, like you, were drawn to this place and have journeyed far to come here to see what you've seen. And what you have seen is what the world is waiting for. And from the shepherd standing behind Joseph, I heard another quiet voice. Once you hear the angels sing, you will never be the same. If you listen, they're always singing. And then there was quiet. No more voices, no more movement, no more surprises. I sensed it was time to go. I started to walk back to my house. The cold wind and the few flakes of snow urged me along. My pace was slow and thoughtful. This walk had become a journey I didn't want to end. Something had returned to me, and I yearned for it to remain. When I reached the corner of the street, I thought I heard singing and turned back for one last look. In the distance, I saw a warm glow coming from the small wooden stable in a yard down the street, sheltering something that was older than the stars, bigger than the whole wide world, and it was real.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We're so glad that you joined us here on this beautiful Christmas Eve. I'm so excited that you're here, you're watching with us, and you're at home, hopefully with your family. enjoying some Christmas time. We need some Christmas time this year. I know this year's been super weird. It's had its ups and its downs, and I know there's been a lot of downs. But tonight we can rejoice that Christ came to be just like us.
That's right.
But he did it perfectly to prove that not only can we do it, but we can do it well. What love would that be? He had it made. He didn't need to come down here, but he came down here for us because he wanted us. So as we move forward tonight and we get ready for bed and all the exciting things that come with Christmas morning, let's sing one more song. If you got a candle and you're with your family, why don't you light it and let's sing. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep.